Here's your market recap on this Monday, the 4th day of August. But before we get into those markets, we'll take a look at the Missouri Crop Progress and Condition Report that was released just a bit ago. Last week, there was 5.2 days suitable for field work. Topsoil moisture supply rated at 1% very short, 14% short, 71% adequate, and 14% surplus. Subsoil moisture currently rated at 13% short, 75% adequate, and 12% surplus. Corn silking reached 95%. That compares with a 5-year average of 94%. Corn in the dough stage reached 65%, which compares to the 5-year average of 65%. Corn dented is now at 10%, and that compares to the 5-year average of 7%. Corn condition was rated at 1% very poor, 4% poor, 16% fair, 58% good, and 21% excellent. Soybeans blooming reached 78% now. That compares with the 5-year average of 74%. The soybeans setting pods reached 49%, and that compares to the 5-year average of 43%. Soybean condition was rated at 1% very poor, 5% poor, 18% fair, 65% good, and 11% excellent. Pasture conditions currently rated at 2% poor, 12% fair, 75% good, and 11% excellent. Third cutting of alfalfa has reached 32% complete. That compares to the 5-year average of 34%. And other cutting of hay, excluding alfalfa, that's reached 92% complete. And that compares with the 5-year average of 100% now. Taking a look at some of those markets from around the state today, Callaway Livestock Center had a few stick-out sales. That sale's still going on as of the recording of this report. 27 head of 525-pound steers sold at $4.59, had 24 head of 541-pound heifers at $4.10. A load of 758-pound steers sold at $3.62, and a load of 855-pound steers in Callaway, $344.75. Monday's feeder cattle auction day at the Joplin Regional Stockyards. They're getting awful close to being done if they haven't wrapped up by now. Expecting 8,000 head there. The steers under 500 pounds selling stayed at $6 lower. Heavier weight steers 4 to 10 higher. The heifers are mixed from 6 lower to 10 higher. Feeder steers, medium and large ones, the 4 to 5 weights at $416 to $480. Some 5 to 6 weights at $380 to $465. 6 to 7 weights at $350 to $425. Some 7 to 8 weight steers at $333 to $372. Some 8 to 9 weights at $320 to $346. Some 900 to 1,000 pound steers at $306 to $326.50. There was 10 head of 302 pound steers that we probably shouldn't leave out today. They were tagged as thin flesh, but they brought $6 a pound. Taking a look at the heifers today, the 4 to 5 weight heifers, $395 to $450. 5 to 6 weights at $345 to $400 even. 6 to 7 weights at $334 to $378. 7 to 8 weights at $318 to $347.50. Some 8 to 9 weight heifers at $297 to $311. Box beef cutout values, choice closed $1.10 higher at $364.32. Select up $1.09 at $341.59. Those values based on 109 loads of cuts, trimmings, and grinds. The Choice Select spread at $22.73. Taking a look at the negotiated feedlot trade so far this week, really nothing reported. There was one small draft in Iowa, 34 head, that sold at $240 live. That's well below the market, so really not sure what's going on with those. Last week, 69,534 head. The weighted average price on the live sales at $242.50. That was up $3.51. Dress sales at $383.72, up $4.12 from the previous week. Taking a look at the closing futures markets on the Mercantile Exchange, there was a lot of volatility today in the cattle markets. They opened higher, fell lower, come back higher by the end of the day. Live cattle for August, 77 higher, 230.90. October up 42 to 24.10. October at 225 up 57. Feeder cattle for August 335.40 up 82. September 334.45 up 52. October at 332.40 up 55. Lean hogs for August 82 cents higher, 108.17. October at 90.90 up 85, and December 83.45 up $1.10. Turning our attention to the grain markets at the elevators around the state on Monday, soybean bids 5 to 8 cents higher, wheat stayed a 7 lower, corn stayed a 2 lower. Corn bids in the St. Louis region 408 to 409, Kansas City at 394. Soybean bids St. Louis 985 to 989, Kansas City at 969. Wheat bids in St. Louis 482 to 491. On the Board of Trade, September corn close 2.5 lower, 387. December down 3 3/4 at 407. March at 424 3/4, down 3.5. August beans 969 up 7 1/4. September up 5 3/4, 975 1/4, and November 994.5 up 5 1/4. The first 3 months of the wheat contracts all closed unchanged. September at 516 3/4, December 537, March at 555 3/4. Soybean meal for August up $6.30 a ton, $273.80. Soybean oil for August 54.50 a hundredweight, down 22 cents. With the Missouri Department of Agriculture, that's a recap of your markets for Monday. This is Tony Hancock.